Hello and welcome to this special presentation on AI for teachers. So if you've heard of AI but you're not sure what's going on, or maybe you're a little bit scared of it, or you want to be able to use it in your classroom and see what all the fuss is about, hopefully I'm going to help you in this presentation. I'm going to focus on three main areas today. We're going to look at text, tests and graphics. And I did this the other week for my VIP teachers group and they absolutely loved it. So hopefully you'll get some ideas and things today. You can always put comments below as well if you've got any more questions. So just in case you don't know, my name's Richard. Hello. So I'm the founder and education consultant at GainKenglish.com. I've been teaching for about 30 years now, which is quite a while. We've seen a lot of technology come and go. And AI is certainly one of the biggest things that's going to happen to teaching. And probably bigger than the pandemic, in fact, but we'll see how it goes and hopefully in a more positive way as well. So, a lot of you might be thinking, when you think of AI and artificial intelligence, you might be thinking of all the movies where they're going to take over the world. Or you might be thinking like the Luddites thought when they invented looms and things, that it's going to take over your jobs and suddenly no one will have any jobs or anything like that. And probably neither of these things are going to happen. A lot of people will have to change jobs. You'll have to get different jobs. Different jobs will exist, which is fine because the majority of jobs that your students are doing now anyway probably won't exist in the future. And the jobs that people are doing now didn't exist when you were at school. So that's fine. And all the dystopia stuff, we'll just go for the optimistic thing and using AI as a tool to make your dreams and your professional goals bigger and more quickly. Rather than turning into crazy movies. Okay, let's go with the optimistic route. And one thing as well is, if you're looking at the scared thing and thinking, oh, AI, doesn't sound good. Don't like that. No, it's cheating. I'm going to ban that. You're in good company because Plato tried to do that as well. When they discovered writing, he said that writing is terrible. We should never use that. Never teach that to students. Because if we teach them writing, they'll forget how to remember anything. And the skill of conversation will disappear. Of course, he wasn't right on it. We use writing now. You probably love writing. So AI is the same thing. Don't do a knee-jerk reaction to it. Let's use it as a tool, as I say, to make your dreams come true. Figure out what you want to do. Now, you're probably already using AI anyway, or machine learning, which is a different type, a sort of variation of it. For example, on your phone, when your phone organizes pictures and shows you the facial recognition and stuff. iPhones have had this for a while. Google's had it for a while. So you've already got artificial intelligence in your pocket, maybe on the device you're watching this now. And it's also had lots of really good positive impacts so far as artificial intelligence. So this is a story from 2021. And in Japan, there was a bakery store, and they were trying to make a machine that could detect croissant, different bakeries and things, and get the AI to figure out what was a croissant, what was a Danish, and what was a bun, and all these different things, which is cool. But then they also figured out this same software could be used by using a microscope to detect cancer cells. So this is like 2021, and they were using AI to detect cancer cells from something that was developed for sorting out cakes and things, which is pretty cool. And then since 2020, AI has actually been better than individual doctors at looking at scans and picking out cancer cells, especially very small ones. So there is huge positive impact that AI has already had on the world. And it's just now we're hearing about it as a boom because people like you and I, regular people, have got access to it, not just super high-level doctors and scientists and things like that. And for ages, we've had things like, this is a website here called This Person Does Not Exist. This is a long time ago. These people are not real. They're all invented, all created by artificial intelligence. But they look real, don't they? It's just crazy, isn't it? So, how can we use it? Well, eventually, you're probably thinking, AI, that means robots teaching kids don't need teachers. Probably we're going to get there in the future. It'll be like with, do you ever commission someone to draw a portrait of your family? No, you probably use a camera. And majority of people are going to end up using the robots and things. But there's always going to be a place for the great person, the great portrait designer, the one-off person, the bespoke person who can do amazing things. But a majority of students will eventually probably end up learning directly from the AIs, but we'll come on to that in a second. What we're talking about now is, for the 10, 20, 30, 40 years you've got before you want to retire, How can you use AI and how can you be in the driving seat and actually use it as a tool? So one thing about AI to remember is it will never be as bad as it is today. It's machine learning, so it's always learning. So whenever you look at something now, say, oh, useless. No. Tomorrow it will be better. Because now we've got millions of people using it. Every interaction trains it and it gets better and better and better. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So let's look at some practical applications for you as a teacher. I'm probably going to focus on language teachers because that's who I usually help. But you can probably use this for most other things as well. So we're going to look at text, tests, and graphics. And I think most teachers are most excited about the graphics because they are just crazy, the graphics that you can now do with AI. I mean, just look at these, you just type in a thing, give me a family of foxes that are cute and furry and cinematic, it gives you that. Give me a cartoon 3D monkey. And these are some cats that we use for teaching verbs. And we said, give us a cute cat who is sleeping, reading, dancing, eating, fishing, and it gave us all these different pictures that we can use as flashcards in class for verbs. And one thing with the AI is you type it in and you say, I want you to make me a picture about this. But you've got to be really clear because sometimes it gets it wrong. So for example, here we had, to show me a cute cat eating, dancing, fishing, cooking. It interpreted it as the actual cat being cooked. So be very careful about the prompts you use. And the prompts are the text that you give it when you want it to design things. Now, I'm a published author. I've had lots of books published. And I've also, these books here cost us a fortune in artist fees to get professional, amazing, award-winning artists. But now we can just get the AI to do it for us. And the two free systems that you can recommend, there are some paid for, but two free systems that you can use to get your own graphics, type in your own prompts are Dall-E, this one here, it's free, and also Canva. If you're using Canva, then there's a free text-to-image function on there. Go to apps and load up the text-to-image, and it'll come up and show you lots of different graphics. And the thing you need is what's called a prompt. The prompt is the bit of text that tells you what the picture is about. It's a cat eating, it's a calculator, it's a girl looking at a picture of a galaxy or whatever you want to imagine. You just type it in and it tells you. And Dall-E have got this brilliant book. So you want to have a look at this Dall-E 2 prompt book. And this book here just shows you a guide through how to do these prompts. And it tells you what to write in. So for example, let's go prompt design, lots of things on it. We can choose, do you want it positive? Do you want it low energy? Do you want it high energy? Do you want it negative? Do you want it to be big and free or big and structured or small and structured or small and free? Do you want different styles like punk waves, cyberpunk, diesel punk, Memphis, vaporware, all these different art styles? If you're doing photography, do you want a close-up? Do you want extreme close-up? All these photos are AI, by the way. So you just tell it, okay, I want a medium shot of a guy playing chess. Out of focus there. You can split up. This is film still of an elderly black man playing chess, medium shot, mid shot. Also try heads and shoulders shot. You can choose different camera angles. Film still, gangster squirrel counting his money, low angle, shot from below, worm's eye view. This is crazy stuff. And you can have different things like bokeh, so that's got the nice fancy background thing, shallow depth of field, blur, out of focus background, or macro lens. You can specify what camera you want it to be emulated from. It's just absolutely crazy. So that is the book, the Dall-E book. And again, all these are all generated from AI. They're not real at all, which is cool. So check out that book for the prompts, which is cool. And so the next thing to do is after the graphics is to look at some text and tests. So you can actually get the AI to write your tests for you and even to mark the tests for you. So I've got a whole list of things that I've been looking up here. And I always, whenever I do these type of textings from the AI, I always put them in my notes so I can always look them up later. And the software you need to do this is called ChatGPT, which I'm sure you must have heard of by now. It's the most famous one right now. Canva also have their own system. If you can't get on here, it's really busy when the Americans are online. So Canva have it called Magic Write. And all you do is you say to it, 5 tips for better visual communication. And it gives you those 5 tips. Or you can ask it to phrases of the day. Give me 50 fun, popular phrases and questions that you can teach on TikTok, Reels or Facebook or YouTube Shorts. And it gives you the 50 there. Parenting Tuesday, give me 50 engaging questions to build relationships with parents. So it gives me these questions that I can put on social media. And these are what I built up. My TikTok now is up to, like 70,000+ followers. Just using these types of prompts and using them as ideas for videos. Favorite questions to teach or ask English students, yeah? And it gives you a list of questions and you can make videos about them. You can ask it to write stories. So we asked it to write a story about the colourful butterfly, and it wrote the story and gave us the front cover as well. We asked it to write a story about a little girl that works in a bakery and a dragon comes to help her in the bakery when the oven goes wrong. Another one about a little girl who talks to vegetables. And it writes the story for you, which is crazy. You can specify the language level for grade 1, grade 5, grade 6, adult level. You can tell how long you want it to be. Do you want it to be a short one? You can put it as a Facebook post. Do you want to make it longer? Do you even want to write a whole book? I asked it to write one about gratitude. And things the AI comes up with things that you never have thought of. As I mentioned before, I've had 12 professionally published books. I've got many more books that we've published ourselves online with Genki English. But I asked it to write a book about gratitude, and it came up with the title, Grumpy Gus Learns to Give Thanks, a Gnome's Guide to Gratitude. It's crazy. I'd never have thought of that in a million years, and I'm a pretty creative guy. But yeah, there you go. And it did the graphics as well. You can also ask it to summarize books. So if you've got students, you're asking them to read books and things. Ask it to summarize it, comes up with a summary. Then you can say, make it longer or shorter. Make it suitable for a 6-year-old or a teenager to read. And then if you're an English teacher, you can say, now prepare a series of IELTS-style reading comprehension questions for it. And it gives you the questions and can make you a test for that book. And then when the students give you the assignment back, you can put it back in and say, please grade this test for me. And it will do. And it will give corrections. So if you're a teacher and you're sat at home every day grading your students' work, pop it in here. It'll give really detailed feedback to all your students and equally to all your students. It's not like, the first 10, they get really good stuff. And then as you get tired, it gets harder and harder. This will give equal opportunities to all the kids to get great feedback. And you can do it through other things like, write original books like one here, Mastering Money Matters, Why ESL Teachers Need Financial Literacy and Wealth Building Skills. A cool title. You can also ask it to role play. So if, for example, with language learners, you can say, I want to practice my English. Start a role play with me when I'm checking into a hotel and you are the receptionist. Please give me detailed feedback and corrections on the English I give you. So if you've got students who need some English practice, they can go on here, pick a new scenario. I'm a football coach or whatever sort of things come up in the tests, I'm a teacher, I need to use AI. Let's set up a role play and ask the AI to give you detailed feedback on the answers that you type in, and it will do. Give you spelling mistakes, corrections. It also learns whether you want tell it as it is, hardcore feedback, or whether you want softly, you're doing great type feedback as well. It knows how humans react emotionally, and the emotional response comes through there. So it can give you the students the different feedback depending on what their sensitivity level is and whether they need a little sugar coating or whether they can tell it like it is and they want to learn quickly. So is it going to happen where the teachers end up with being replaced by robots? Yes, of course, it will eventually, but it probably won't look like this, yeah? So we have to imagine this is ChatGPT where you can have a conversation role play with it. These will get combined with the graphics later on this year. There's going to be real-time video that moves. And what's probably going to happen is instead of robots like this, you'll have real-world celebrities who license their likenesses. So then people can have a chat and learn English, getting feedback or asking questions to Shakira or famous actors and things. And then they will tell you and talk to you in their accents and their languages. And you can tell what personality you want them to have. And you'll be able to chat with them like that. But for now, the main thing for teachers is it's a tool. AI is a tool that you can use for marking students' work, generating text, generating graphics, doing whatever you want. And you have to decide whether you're going to embrace this tool. So you can go ahead, you're already using technology. You're using chalk or a whiteboard or a computer or something. That's like using a spoon. The AI is now giving you a JCB. So if your job is to dig down and reach as many students as you can reach, a few students, 30, 40, 100, 1,000 a year with a spoon. But if you learn how to use a JCB and dig down further, you can help and reach many, many more students using this technology. And that's what it's all about. So the question for you is, are you going to keep on with your spoon and probably get replaced? Maybe. Or are you going to jump in the driver's seat and learn how to drive this JCB so then you can take your skills, your experience, your knowledge, and your passion and spread that out to more and more students around the world because you decided to learn the skills, learn the AI, and keep following up with what's coming up, thinking about what challenges do I have, what would I love to do, and then how can the AI help me do that? And you think in that way, you can have an amazing future using the AI as a JCB to reach as many students as you can. So that was a quick little resume, a little run over how the AI can help you right now. So I'm Richard from Genki English. If you want to find out more, you can look at genkienglish.com. Oh, it's on my t-shirt there. Send me an email, I'll put questions below and I'll try and help out. I've been doing teaching for 30 years now. We've seen a lot of technology come and go. We've helped millions of students using the internet, and I think AI is going to be the next biggest thing that's going to help teachers get the word out there more, get the best teachers like you to be more famous and helping more kids, and helping the shyest kids learn more, get more experience, and have a better lives. All for it. So that's what it's all about. So I'm Richard from Genki English, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.